to attend this webinar. So it is my honor and privilege to have with us Khun Mak Chong, Deputy CEO of ADVANC Info Services, Khun Sumar Thai, and Khun Nafisan from ADVANC Info Services Investor Relations team together as our speakers. So Khun Mak Chong will be taking questions in the Q&A session. So just a little bit of a brief background before we start the webinar. ADVANC Info Services is a leading Thai telco operator with over 33 years of providing telecommunication, infrastructure, and digital services to Thai society. The company operates in 4 main areas: mobile telecommunication services under the brand AIS, home broadband internet services under AIS Fibre and 3BB, enterprise services under AIS Business, and digital services. So the agenda for today will be a brief look at the Thai telecom industry by the AIS Investor Relations team, and then as well as introduction to AIS by the Investment Relations team as well. And then this will be followed by a Q&A by Khun Mak Chong of AIS. So for Khun Mak Chong, a brief profile on him. He is the Deputy CEO of AIS and he leads the company's operations with responsibilities for all operating units, including the mobile and enterprise businesses. He's a veteran in the telecom industry, having held roles at Singtel from 1997 to 2022 as Deputy CEO. So he has extensive experiences holding various executive positions in consumer and enterprise sales, marketing, international business, network management. I would also like to take this opportunity to remind everyone to type in your questions in the Q&A box, and we will try to answer them after the presentation. So with this, I would like to hand over the session to Khun Sumar Thai and Khun Nafisan. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, so let me start off introducing our AIS. We place emphasis on everything we do with the principle of ecosystem economy for growth, integrating across industry collaboration within 3 main pillars. One is developing digital intelligent infrastructure through expansion of 5G network and home internet service, including the platforms for the industrial sectors. Secondly, we connect cross-industry collaboration to jointly deliver benefits to customers through collaborations with small business operators and execution through points and privilege programs. And lastly, we enhance capability of digital talent for sustainability and building cyber resilience for the Thai. AIS began the journey over 34 years as a leader in Thailand telecommunication industry, marking its start of its operation in the concession period. This period laid the groundwork for our commitment to delivering high-quality telecom service nationwide. In 2013, the industry transited from concession-based to the spectrum auction period. And also in 2015, we leveraged our extensive core fiber infrastructure and launched its fixed broadband internet service under the brand of AIS Fibre. This strategic move utilized our robust network in provide unparalleled internet service at home and outside of home, setting a new standard in connectivity. In 2018, we start expansion to AIS Business, where we acquired CS Loxinfo and start launching our enterprise business, aiming to foster the growth in the new areas such as cloud, cybersecurity, IoT, ICT solutions, and data centers. In the late 2023, recently, we completed acquisition of TTTBB or Triple Tree Broadband, a broadband operator with subscriber base of over 2.3 million subscribers. This acquisition significantly boosts our position in the broadband market, effectively doubling the fixed broadband revenue and enhance our market share and service capability. AIS evolved from traditional telecom service provider and aiming to become an admired cognitive telco, marking a strategic pivot to enrich customer value through advanced technology. We place customer as a core and providing 4 key services supported by the ecosystem of partnerships. We also acknowledge strong foundation is key towards sustainable growth, and they are IT intelligence, network automation, data analytics, and the human capital strength. Our focus in the mobile business is through 5G monetization while creating holistic digital differentiation for the customer. In the broadband, we focus on quality acquisition in the extensive network we recently acquired from 333 Broadband. We also provide new digital service as well as to introduce new digital products to the business. This year, we also focus on 3BB integration, where it will take place and last until the mid of next year to complete, and then we can start on integrating of the 2 brands. On enterprise front, we focus on growing digital infrastructure to accelerate digital capabilities of our customers. We are also in the process of building the GSA data center. This is a joint venture that we collaborate with Gulf and Singtel, and the building process will finish in next year and will start operating in the second quarter of next year. And lastly, on the digital front, we provide adjacency service to our core businesses. The key thing is that we are on the process of application of virtual bank. The application from Bank of Thailand is open until September, and we'll be providing more details of the application due course. So at this present, our revenue share contribution remains largely on the mobile front of 77%. The broadband was less than 10%, but with the acquisition, it enlarged our broadband revenue contribution to 18%, while enterprise may remain small, about 4%. The digital service, as I mentioned, we include several lifestyle services ranging from the insurance, AIS 5G, cloud gaming, as well as digital content service such as Playbox, as well as the digital payment as well. The strategic competency we have is within our 50 million customers that we serve to the best network quality. We have 5G coverage of over 90% of the population, and 4G and 4G coverage is already beyond 98% of population already. With extensive coverage and acquisition, our fiber home pass reached 13.3 million households, and we also have 11 locations of data center, which majority is to serve internal as well as for the customer as well. It is essential to note the significant market change in 2023. Before that, the industry was composed of 3 main mobile operators, which were True, DTAC, and AIS, and one state-owned company called NT or National Telecom. However, the beginning of 2023, it marked a transformation which merged True and DTAC together, reshaping the market into what now similar to a 2-player market. Today, AIS holds a substantial 47% of the subscriber market share, while 48% of the mobile industry revenue share. 70% of our subscribers opt for prepaid service. Despite this, it's interesting to observe that 63% of our revenue is actually derived from the postpaid segment, attributed to its higher ARPU than the prepaid ARPU. The blended ARPU for AIS stands at 223 baht compared to the industry average of 213 and the competitor of 204 baht. Moreover, the mobile penetration rate in Thailand has reached 146% of population. At AIS, our strategy focuses not only to expand our subscriber base, but also enhance the service for our subscriber. The approach allows us to effectively engage in upselling and cross-selling, maximizing the revenue potential, and also reinforcing our market position in the competitive landscape. Also in the broadband market, in November, AIS, we announced the complete acquisition of Broadband, which is the third largest player in the subscriber market share. The acquisition has reshaped the competitive landscape and consolidating our market share into the leadership, which combined to 4.8 million subscribers under AIS Fibre and 3BB brand, marking us 46% in subscriber and industry revenue market share. Today, the fixed broadband market comprises of approximately 11.5 million subscribers. It includes smaller operators achieving a household penetration rate of 50%, and this indicates significant growth opportunity within the market. AIS actively capitalizing on this opportunity by focusing on acquiring new subscribers and enhancing the value of existing subscribers through bundling package that combine our mobile service and also content bundles like Netflix, HBO, and AIS Play. On enterprise front, we were just started the business right on our leading relationship with enterprise customer in airtime and building on multi-product relationship. We lay foundation in the core connectivity service, building on offering EDS, cloud data center, and offering the platform and solution for service like and extended into vertical solution. The ICT market opportunity in Thailand has a CAGR of 8.7% per annum, and this shows opportunities for delivering growth within this business segment. Historically, we have been delivering a strong performance. We continue our momentum in business expansion. The total revenue growth with a 3-year CAGR of 3% per annum. EBITDA margin has been very strong in telecom service provider across the globe. Our EBITDA margin closed at 49% last year. Our acquisition actually delivered an EBITDA positivity since day one, and as well as cash flow positive since day one. The bottom line growth has a recovery trajectory that benefit from the recovery in the mobile market and boosted by our strong competency in cost efficiency operations. Comparing to the guidance of this year we guided to continue a strong growth momentum. We guide our guidance of 13 to 15% growth in core service revenue. On EBITDA side, we guide 14 to 16% growth, and net profit, we consequently from the EBITDA growth, we aim to deliver EPS growth as well. Our first quarter came in very strong with core service revenue and EBITDA surpassing our guidance. The core service revenue beat due to effective package restructuring, which benefits since the first quarter of this year. The EBITDA growth attributed to the increased revenue from service revenue and high cost base in early 2023. And we also improved the EBITDA margin due to the enhanced sales margin of handset device and also benefit from the cost synergy we derive from the broadband. For the time being, we kept our guidance unchanged to wait and see what's going on in the second quarter, and we'll see how it goes after the result announcement. We announced the plan this year CAPEX usage of 25 to 26 billion, and that is sufficient for mobile, covering around 60%, while broadband using around 7 to 8 billion, and the rest for enterprise and digital service. Our balance sheet is efficiently managed. The enlarged balance sheet from last year is due to the acquisition loan for Triple broadband, and also on the lease liability part was from the ROU of 3BBIF. Our leverage ratio improved significantly, with the net debt to EBITDA ratio reducing from 2.9 times in fourth quarter to 2.5 this quarter. This is the sole contribution from the EBITDA growth, which benefit from the Triple broadband. The ROIC stood at 12% rising from the EBIT growth. The free cash flow came strong for the first quarter with record 17 billion, while the free cash flow yield improved to 9%. AIS has commitment to shareholder returns throughout the various phases of industry, from the concession period to the present spectrum auction period. We have maintained a strong dividend policy, distributing a minimum of 70% of net profit annually. This enduring commitment reflects our steady increase in dividend per share over the years, mirroring our robust earning growth and affirming our dedication to delivering the value to our shareholders. And lastly, we dedicated to reshaping the organization into the cognitive telco, enhancing the capabilities to fuel the ecosystem economy while prioritizing the interests of all stakeholders. This commitment extends to creating economic, social, environmental value, guided by the principles of good governance that emphasize fairness and transparency of all stakeholders. The company's sustainable development framework is built on 3 pillars, which serve as a roadmap guiding the company's pursuit of its vision of sustainability in the business operation. These 3 pillars are driving digital economy, promote digital inclusion, and act on climate. And this is the end of our presentation. Please start with the Q&A.
Thank you. Okay, so let's move on to the next section, because I think we want to devote a bit more time to the Q&A portion, and we do have some questions coming in. Sorry, can I check, Kun Chong, Kun Mark, are you able to see the questions?
Yeah, I can see 2 questions from Mr. Andy Wong.
Yes.
If I may take them.
Yes, please.
Okay, we have largely removed unlimited data from the prepaid and the lower price postpaid. In some of the higher price postpaid plans, they are unlimited. Yeah, I hope that answers the question. The market actually moved away from unlimited data plans. Unless you are paying high price postpaid plans, you generally have to pay for data according to consumption. Is the guidance based? So I move on to the second question from Mr. Andy Wong. Our guidance is based on a healthy mobile market. The ARPU has been rising. We do not provide details on how much the ARPU will rise. Blended ARPU flat quarter on quarter. I think if you look at our gross adds, actually the ARPU has been rising on both prepaid and postpaid.
It has a growth trend.
Yeah, there is. I think compared to a year ago, it has risen by about 15 baht. So that's a trajectory roughly that we are taking. Of course, it depends on how much we can raise the ARPU by, depends on market forces, depends on affordability in the market. Yeah.
We have the third question. Congratulations on your first quarter performance. What's your view for this performance to sustain throughout this year? and following years?
I think we have. I think the market has consolidated. I think that's a very important thing. So the number 2 and number 3 mobile players, True and DTAC, they combined since January 23. So, and with that, actually, we have seen price stability returning to the market. We do believe this will continue, provided that the Thai economy continues to be positive and supportive of consumption. So we hope this will continue. I think H1 for FY24 should be okay. H2, the Thai economy seems a bit soft, so we will have to monitor. But market competition-wise, we don't think this will get too aggressive. Unlikely price war, so we'll say positive trajectory.
Is the first quarter of 2024, advanced mobile ARPU show an impressive recovery? How long will this trend sustain, and are there any drivers that could boost ARPU going forward?
Actually, it's kind of mentioned. I think the ARPU has risen. We hope to keep it this way. Market does not seem to get into a state of there doesn't seem to be too much turbulence in terms of price competition. We do hope it's sustained. Right now, I think operators are trying to sell more on top and add on packages that hopefully could raise the ARPU for those who desire, say, more content or more productivity tools such as the Microsoft Office 365 packages that we offer. Yeah.
Next, we have from Han. Can you share what the competition and challenges are like in Thailand in your business, and who are your strongest competitors?
Okay, very briefly, 3 mobile operators in Thailand. That's ourselves. There's True and DTAC merger, so that's number 2. Actually, True and DTAC have more subscribers than us and have larger revenue market share than us since they combined in January 23. The third mobile operator is National Telecom. It's a state-owned enterprise with a small market share. So largely the mobile services are provided by True, DTAC and ourselves. And in the broadband side, there are several players, but the large ones are ourselves. Today, I think after the merger with 3BB, we are number 1 by far. Then you have True, and then you have National Telecom as well. There are some small, I think, local players, but the large revenue market share is with AIS and True and NT in the broadband space. Yeah. I personally, I think it is very hard for any new operator to come into a mature market, as in any other mature markets, because mobile operator have already built their network, use a lot of the frequency. So it's probably difficult to see how that can happen, although one can never rule out such a scenario, but I think there will be enough forewarning before anything like that happens.
After that, Kun Andy Wong, with the merger completing, what price moves have you seen from DTAC, and is AIS raising the price?
I kind of mentioned that earlier, price stability results. So DTAC is probably prices a bit lower than others, but it's not too disruptive. Generally, I think, there's price stability in the market, I would say.
Okay. Next is satellite broadband service, Starlink One World. Is it cannibalizing traditional mobile or broadband service? How will AIS manage this trend?
Okay, I suppose the thing about Thailand is that fiber broadband is generally available across the country. Of course, there are still areas, say forests, national parks, where fiber or Wi-Fi connectivity are not available. But I think at this moment, only OneWeb has got license to operate in Thailand. That's in partnership with National Telecom. Starlink does not have, I think, permission or license to operate in Thailand yet. We do not see that as too much of a threat to the fixed broadband business, because I think the throughput available from this LEO satellite, the low orbit satellites, are relatively narrow. The terminals are also quite pricey. So we don't think this will affect our fixed broadband business that much. I think Mr. Andy Wong has another question on post-Triple T broadband acquisition. Are we pricing more aggressive to grow? What is holding back? Okay, I think we are offering higher tiers of broadband to lift ARPU. So such things as fiber LAN to the home. So you have seen, actually, you would see that broadband prices have generally risen in Thailand, ARPU wise. I think households, it depends on the affordability, but with the 3BB merger, actually 3BB brings to AIS a wider fiber footprint across Thailand, especially outside the cities. So this has helped us gain new customers, in broadband.
How much capital are you expecting to invest in digital bank? Where do you see opportunity to compete in your other service?
I don't think we have announced our investment in digital bank, but what I can share with you is that there are a few shareholders in this undertaking. I think we mentioned that we will be partnering Krung Thai Bank. There's Gulf and AIS, and possibly a fourth one, but I'm not sure that's been made public, so I shall not mention the name. So there will be a sharing of risk and capital in this venture. Of course, I think the segments will be going for will be the underbanked, the underserved segments, SMEs. These are the likely segments. Anyway, I think any capital investment will be staged depending on the rules that the central bank will announce. Yeah.
How will the upcoming spectrum auction impact AIS? Would NT join the auction and risking the high auction price?
I cannot speak for NT. Whether the auction price will be high or not is also at this moment unknown. It's probably, I don't think MBTC has really announced. They have issued some public consultation document, but they have not firmed up the auction rules. It is probably too early to say, but spectrum is necessary for telcos to operate. Some of this spectrum that will be put up are because the spectrum has reached end of life, and of course we will have to bid for them. But I think one should also take note that the market has consolidated. There are only two players now, largely between AIS and True. So hopefully this will calm the markets and calm any auction that takes place. But we will see. It's a bit early to say.
What is the advanced future growth plan following plan launch on data center? Are there plans for more data center in the future?
Okay, are doing fine on mobile, but we also know that the mobile penetration in Thailand is reaching about 150%. Broadband-wise, there's growth. Market penetration, household penetration is about 50%. We think this should be able to head towards 70-80%. So there's the upside growth there. The other upside growth should come from enterprise play. If the government continues to drive digitalization across industries, across businesses, we think there's opportunity to play and grow in the enterprise space. The data center is one of our ventures into the enterprise space. It is a brand new state-of-the-art data center that can support GPU services. It will come available April 2025. If the take-up is successful and encouraging, then of course we will possibly consider more data centers.
Do you have a share buyback plan? What is your criteria in determining whether it is worthwhile to buy back shares?
I don't think we have a share buyback plan. So yeah, then I think we need not discuss the criteria for considering buyback. At this moment, we don't have. If there's any, I'm sure we'll announce to the market. Yeah.
Is your enterprise segment and IT service business any support from Singtel? Why is AIS only entering enterprise now?
Actually, maybe I wasn't clear. It's not that enterprise, we are entering enterprise only now. I think we have gone into enterprise space easily about 10 years ago. It started small. We entered, we started doing, domestic connectivity, what we call enterprise data services starting about 10 years ago, and it's taken a while to grow this. So as you could see earlier, accounts for about 5% of our service revenue. There's still upside to grow. There is some exchange of expertise, ideas from Singtel, but largely it is a local-driven effort. I hope I answer all the questions. If there are any more questions that I could answer, please feel free to ask. I think if I may just make some comment on the Thai market, you would note that the main bulk of the value today sits on mobile. That has stabilized. The market has consolidated. We see that as a positive, and I think you can see that reflected in our financial results in 23 and first quarter this year. That will allow us to venture into under-penetrated areas in broadband. The acquisition of 3BB has helped us. I think the capex outlook for both mobile and fiber broadband over the next 2 years is actually quite muted. We don't expect a lot of capex investments. 5G is largely built. We will add on for capacity mostly. So I think we are doing quite all right in mobile, in broadband, and now we will also try to grow our enterprise space. Dividend yield is about 4%. Yeah, so.
We have another question. How large can data center contribute to earnings? How do we estimate?
To Mr. Andy Wong, to be clear, we are a part shareholder. We have 25% in this data center that we are building. Gulf has, if I'm not wrong, 45%, Singtel has 30%, and AIS takes a 25% stake. What we hope to capture, however, is the connectivity to and fro from the data center.
Would there be a change in advanced business direction following the departure of Kun Somchai Lersuthipong, who is now also the chairman of director at PTT Oil and Retail?
Thank you for your question. There is a lot of noise in the market about when Kum Somchai may or may not leave. I don't think I'm in a position to comment on such speculation, shall we say. Yeah. Is he chairman already? I think he has joined the board. He has now become chairman, so congratulations to Kun Somchai. But I don't think I'm in a position to comment on when he steps off AIS. Yeah, thank you.
Let me add that the business direction, we are professionally run company.
Yeah.
So the business direction has been going through the 3-year strategic plan. We conduct that annually. So it's going through from bottom up and also top down perspective that we study carefully. So the governance is still in place. We changed the leaders, CEO many times over 34 years of operation, and we are still going strong in the business.
The business direction is set by the board and the shareholders, so this will continue. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Any other questions, everyone? Okay. Okay. I don't see any other questions coming in. Is there any last closing remarks that Kun Mak, you want to share with the audience?
Yeah. I suppose I think investors would want to consider that investing in Thailand is well, especially in the telco business in Thailand, actually you see stable market environment. I think still relatively untapped in broadband, 50% household penetration, there's growth. The government is trying to stimulate the Thai economy. Eastern Seaboard initiatives are still there. We think that the government's efforts will eventually bear fruit, and therefore we think growth coming from broadband and enterprise areas will yield positive returns. So our dividend yield is quite good, 4%. I think in this market it has been holding at 4% for many years. So if interest rates across the world start to drop, you might want to consider the AIS SDRs or even directly into Thailand. That would be my parting remarks.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to get your perspective also. I think looking at AIS and Singtel, right? I mean, between the two companies, which one would be a more interesting play? I mean, just based on your personal opinion.
I think it depends on your investment objectives. Singtel is a regional play with exposure to Australia, Philippines, Thailand, India, even parts of Africa. So if you want a bit of a geographical diversified play, then you could well consider Singtel. But if you believe in the growth potential of Thai economy, and the opportunities that lie here, then you probably want to look at AIS more holistically.
Mm. Okay,
There
that's
are
very
pros and
interesting.
cons. Geographically distributed also means, you need all things to be aligned, all stars to be aligned for big boost, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, I think Singtel has done quite well recently, 6% interest yield. So that's also attractive, I must say.
Yeah, that's right.
Invest in both Singtel and AIS. That'll be good. Yeah.
Okay. So for the audience, please take note. Very interesting comments from Kunj, Mark.
I'm from Singapore, actually. I'm working here in Thailand. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw your background. You were formerly from Singtel.
Yes, still am. Because
Oh,
Singtel
okay.
invested in AIS. So Singtel is a substantial shareholder of AIS. I'm posted here to support AIS. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Can I check with our audience? Is there any other questions? Please post them in the Q&A. We'll probably have half a minute or so. And then if not, then we can close.
Maybe another point to consider is that AIS has been leading the telco business in Thailand for 30 odd years. We were number one in mobile in terms of subscriber and revenue share until recently, until I think January 23, when both the number 2 and number 3 decided to merge. So I think the management here, the continuity in how we run the business probably speaks for itself.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't see any other questions coming in. So, so thank you, Kun Mark, for your in-depth sharing during the Q&A session. And for the clients and the participants, if you are interested in adding AIS into your portfolio, you can head over to the POEMS website at www.poems.com.sg and look for the ticker TADD. This is the AIS SDR ticker. Alternatively, you can also go to the SDR website at www.singaporedr.com to explore the rest of the other Thai DRs. So in conclusion, I'd like to thank Kun Mark Chong, Deputy CEO of AIS, Kun Sumri Thai, and Kun Nafisan for sharing with us on AIS. I also hope to have the opportunity to invite Kun Mark Chong and the AIS Investor Relations team back again to our SDR lunchtime webinar. So thank you again, Kun Mark and the team. Lastly, I also want to thank everyone for your time again in attending this seminar. So thank you again and have a good week ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Poems, for inviting us, and thank you to all the listeners who dialed in. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We hope to have you back again.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good lunch.
Thanks, everyone.